Welcome, folks, to the next episode of BattleTech Simplified, Season 2. I'm Michael Schachman, I'll be your host and commentator, and in today's episode, we will be covering one of the quintessential support mechs of the medium variety, one of the greatest missile boats ever to be created for its weight class, and one of the last holdouts of the dying Star League. Today we'll be covering the Trebuchet. The Trebuchet, also jovially referred to as the Trench Bucket, is a mainline medium-weight battle mech considered to be a fine blend of long and short-range fire support for a unit of its size. Unlike many other pre-clan mechs, the Trebuchet was designed from the beginning to work as part of a lance instead of functioning as a standalone model. The TBT-5N features respectable firepower, 10 heat sinks, 7.5 tons of armor, and a top speed of 85.4 kilometers per hour for good mobility. The main drawback of the design is its endurance. Since it was never meant to operate far from supply lines, the Trebuchet has a limited amount of munitions for its missile launchers, and once these ammunition bins run dry, the mech must defend itself with only its laser weapons, where it is often outgunned compared to other mechs when fighting independently at close range. The Trebuchet first walked off assembly lines in 2780 for the SLDF in the final years of the Star League, between the liberation of Terra from Stefan Amaris and Alexander Kerensky's departure. With the onset of the Succession Wars, the Trebuchet would become an almost exclusive staple of the Free Worlds League, since its manufacturing site on Stuart fell within their territory. However, the original TBT-3C models proved to be too difficult to repair and produce with the disappearance of advanced technology, and in 2799, Korean Enterprises went back to the drawing board to create the TBT-5N using less advanced technology. The Free Worlds League military often partnered the Trebuchet with the Archer, while lances consisting of an Archer, 2 Trebuchets, and a Centurion became a common configuration used for siege operations and by the Regulan Hussars. However, the design also found its way into the hands of the other great houses and served with distinction during the Succession Wars in nearly every major operation. With a number of variants created to fulfill various needs, the technological renaissance which swept through the inner sphere during the 3030s allowed first Kaliyama and then the Aryan corporations to begin producing the Trebuchet as well, culminating in upgraded designs debuting several years prior to the clan invasion. As late as 3071, advanced Trebuchet variants would continue to be produced and found themselves used by new actors on the galactic stage, most notoriously the Warden of Blake. As for its weapons and equipment, the primary weapons of the Trebuchet are a pair of Zeus LRM-15 launchers in its right torso and left arm respectively. 1 ton of ammo per launcher allows it to soften up an opponent though not truly cripple them, at ranges where they cannot return fire. Backing these up for close range work is a trio of Magna Mark II medium lasers, 2 in its right arm and 1 in its left, which provide the Trebuchet with firepower when the LRM munition has been depleted. These also discourage lighter mechs from attempting to intercept it, and 10 heat sinks allow the mech to fire these continuously when traveling at a cruising speed of 54 kilometers per hour. The Trebuchet is also proficient as a brawler, although its physical blows lack the same weight as heavier mechs do. As for my personal feelings on the Trebuchet, folks, I would have to say that the Trebuchet, again, was not one that I really got into much in my early days of mech games. But also again playing uh, BattleTech by Harebrained Schemes, I can honestly say that it is one of the ones that I love having, and one of the ones I absolutely dread going up against, especially in the early game. These things, especially with when at the proper range, can devastate greener and lighter mech companies and lighter mech lances. These things are punch well above their weight class, and if you want to be able to have short bursts of intense damage by missile damage and have a little bit of laser stuff left over, would highly recommend you check this mech out. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me in this episode. I really had fun making it. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video. Also, be sure to ring the bell icon so you never miss an episode when they go live. Last but not least, comment down below with what your feelings on the Trebuchet are. Do you think it has too little ammo to be able to do its job properly, or do you think it's just right in its design? Let me know down below. Anyway, guys, I'm Michael Shockman. I've been your host and commentator. Stay tuned for next week when we cover the last section of the medium mechs of Season 2, that being the 55-ton weight bracket. And yeah, stay tuned for that. Remember, as always, guys, I'm Michael Shockman. I've been your host and commentator. And remember, no guts, no galaxy. Later, everybody.